Coming into the 2020 NBA draft as one of the highest-ranked names among the young player pool, many people were surprised to see Israeli sensation Deni Avdija drop all the way to the 9th spot in the draft. As with the case with many non-American prospects, Avdija is mostly unknown to casual basketball fans. But draft analysts had long been singing his praises before he shockingly fell to number 9 on draft night. This made many fans wonder about why Avdija's stock may have dropped and if he could have looked unimpressive in private team workouts. Was all the hype surrounding him a false alarm? Join us now as we take a look at how good Deni Avdija really is. Hey yeah! That's literally what Washington Wizards general manager Tommy Shepard screamed right after hanging up on the phone with the league office and informing them the Wizards were selecting Deni Avdija with their 9th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. "We were a little bit surprised he was going to be there at 9, Shepard said. "We were very excited, but certainly Israeli fans around the world are texting right now. I think we made some new Wizards fans tonight." Just a couple days before the draft, Avdija was widely expected to be a top 5 or 6 selection. Both Bleacher Report and ESPN's last mock drafts had him going 6th to the Atlanta Hawks. Instead, players like Patrick Williams and Isaac Okoro jumped him in the draft, and Avdija fell to Washington. The Wizards were one of the teams that liked Avdija the most, and their front office was thrilled once he became available at 9. "We've seen quite a bit of him. Our international scouts have been on this kid since he was 16, said Tommy Shepard. "We were very grateful he fell to 9. He's a proven player having played in EuroLeague. He's got character, work ethic, he checked all of our boxes." After hanging up the phone with the league office, Shepard called Avdija to be the first to congratulate him. "Welcome home, buddy. We're so excited," the Wizards GM told Avdija through the phone. "You were very high on our board and no one thought in a million years you'd get to us." Shepard wasn't the only one excited with Deni's arrival, as Wizards head coach Scott Brooks is another one of his supporters. "I love his toughness. I love his IQ," Brooks said. "As a coach, you'd never have to worry about a player playing hard. That's what he does. He steps on the court and he competes. He's going to make our practices better and our games better. The thing I like the most of his career is that he played against guys who are older than him. He's played against men in the leagues that he's played in." Both Shepard and Brooks have hit some key pointers on Avdija's game, so let's take a closer look at what the Israeli sensation can do on the basketball court. First things first, the one big advantage Deni holds over many fellow prospects from his class are the fact he's played professional basketball before. As Coach Brooks said, he has experience playing against grown men, which is hardly comparable to facing exclusively collegiate opponents. Granted, the level of play in Israel is also hardly comparable to the NBA's, but professional experience is still professional experience, regardless of where it came from. And not only did Avdija play professionally for 2 years, but he actually dominated the Israeli league in the country's best basketball club, Maccabi Tel Aviv. Deni was recruited by them when he was just 13 years old, and he played with the senior team for 2 entire seasons, in which the team won back-to-back championships, and before getting drafted, Avdija was named the 2020 Israeli League MVP, and was also a member of the All-Israeli First Team. Playing professionally is one thing, but dominating a pro league at 19 years old is a whole different story. One thing that makes Avdija so great is his immense versatility. Deni's a 6'9" forward that handles the basketball like a guard. He can comfortably play 3 positions on offense from shooting guard to power forward. And he's one of the top all-around prospects from his class. He can do it all. He can score inside, he can shoot decently, he can pass, he can rebound, and he can play perimeter defense. He's not the best player in each of these areas, but he can hold his own in all of them. Avdija has all the tools to become a star point forward, thanks in part to the superb basketball ecosystem in which he was raised. As we've covered in previous videos, European basketball systems are well known for developing great playmakers and all-around players. Deni is the rare 6'9" player that you'll notice is as comfortable running the pick-and-roll game as any point guard. And as Coach Brooks also pointed out, he has great basketball IQ, court awareness, and vision that have allowed him to be a step ahead of his competition. Simply put, Avdija can make things happen when you put the ball in his hands. As much as he loves handling the ball on the pick and roll, Deni is best suited as a secondary playmaker who can create for himself and for his teammates. He likes taking the ball inside the paint for finishes near the rim, and he's proven to be quite skilled at fighting through contact to convert rough layups. Avdija isn't the most gifted athlete, nor has the outstanding bounce that other fellow classmates do have, but he uses his skill rather than physical abilities to be successful when attacking the rim. As we said, Deni isn't a super athletic prospect, and his rather short 6'9" wingspan relative to his height doesn't help his case either, but even though Avdija won't outrun the fastest forwards on a fast break opportunity, this slower pace he plays with helps him find openings on other players his age just can't. He's a quick decision maker that remains calm through the storm. Think guys like Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic. Avdija is obviously not on their level yet, but he shows a similar patient, yet lightning-quick knack for making the right decisions. Moving on to his areas of improvement, perhaps the biggest one for him is his consistency in his shot. Let's start by saying Deni has been an uncharacteristically poor free throw shooter. He shot around 56% from the charity stripe throughout his career, an eye-popping mark that raises a lot of concerns about his game. That's a ridiculously low mark for a guy who likes to drive to the rim frequently. And it's also quite alarming because nice free throw numbers usually indicate jump shot development potential. Deni did shoot 72% in his last 7 regular season games after returning from the Israeli League stoppage, so he's clearly working on that aspect of his game. Avdija hasn't been a bad three-point shooter, he's just not consistent at all. And in a league that values consistency and a player's ability to show up when it matters over many other factors, things don't look well for him if he doesn't improve that jump shot. What looks very nice is his modern basketball shot chart, as Deni usually sticks to taking either short-range layups or three-point shots. That's exactly the trend the NBA is following, so there's still a lot of hope and promise with him. Deni has a very nice-looking jump shot form, but his shots are usually flatter and with little arc. This has led him to struggling when taking threes from above the hash. One game, you'll catch him making step-back threes and off-the-dribble difficult shots, but on the next one, he isn't able to make a catch-and-shoot three to save his life. Once again, consistency is the most important thing Avdija needs to work on when it comes to his jump shot. And considering many players before him have entered the league with mediocre jump shots and managed to become more serviceable and consistent shooters throughout the years, there's nothing that suggests his shooting won't improve with time. With this arguably being the biggest hole in his offensive game, it also won't take long for the Wizards coaching staff to start developing Avdija's jump shot. Because when you have a guy at 6'9" that is as likely to hit you with a step-back three as he is to blow by you and finish through contact inside the paint, that's when he becomes a very big problem for the opposition. And even more so when he can draw attention from defenders and still have the vision to hit cutters or open teammates. Now, looking at the defensive end of the game, Avdija can actually hold his own on the perimeter. He's not an elite on-ball defender by any means, but he knows how to play team defense and can stay in front of his man in the perimeter. You could also have him defend the lighter stretch 4 forwards in the league at times. But don't bank on him stopping players from scoring in close with consistency. He's a surprisingly solid shot blocker for a guy that doesn't have elite athleticism, though many of his blocks have come from the weak side when he spots an opportunity to help in time. Deni's a good positional rebounder, but again, he doesn't have the body to compete with full-time NBA bigs down the paint. He should get more comfortable defending the paint as he gets stronger and his body continues maturing, but he isn't ready for that now. He's smart and can read opponents well on the perimeter, so that's where he should be spending most of his time. A big plus with him is the intangibles he already comes equipped with. He's as competitive as they come. He has the alpha mentality from his days dominating in Europe, and he's already a couple of steps ahead with the professional experience we already discussed. And even though 8 other teams thought taking somebody else was the better route to go, Avdija will likely surprise many people with his level of play in the coming years. Deni was not concerned about dropping to 9 in the draft. He's simply grateful for the opportunity to play NBA basketball. Avdija made history as he became the highest drafted player ever from Israel, an honor that previously belonged to Omri Caspi, who was drafted with the 23rd pick in 2009 by the Sacramento Kings, and ironically was teammates with Avdija in Deni's last season playing for Maccabi Tel Aviv. Avdija was also the 6th Israeli player in history to get drafted in the NBA, and as he makes his transition into America, he will have an entire country supporting his back. For me to represent my country and make history, that's a blessing, Avdija said shortly after being drafted. Israel is a small country. It didn't provide as many NBA players, and for me, to represent my country and be in the highest spot possible, that's amazing, and I'm super excited and ready to get my game to the next level. I'm super excited for Washington. It's a great organization. I'm so blessed to get picked by them. I'm ready to work. Now, it's time for Avdija to walk the walk. He's dominated the game in his native country, but we're yet to see how his game translates into the NBA. All signs point to him becoming a star in the league if everything goes right. He has one of the highest floors compared to the rest of the players in his class, and even if he doesn't become a big star, he should be able to build up a good NBA career. That's not to say he won't become a star, but a player as versatile as him will always be valuable. He holds a lot of potential, and for now, you can rest assured the Wizards got a steal in the 2020 draft. How good do you think Deni Avdija really is? Do you think he's ready for the NBA? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel.